we have all 6 of our strips already drawn, already split, ready to go for the assembly phase, as I like to call it. So when you think about the design process, when you're designing in a software package, the decisions that you're making about the angles of these and the locations of where it's being cut, all of that is part of the design process, which is sort of out of the jurisdiction of this class. So the thing that I want to stress, though, is that there will be a reason for placing it there. And so it's going to be kind of easy for you to say, all right, I want this one to go 100 feet in from the right. The next one will be 20 feet. The next one is 150 feet. The next one is 20 feet. The next one is 100 feet. Something like that. It'll be a rule set with different variables. And that's what defines this. So all of that is a little bit more difficult to place. That's design. This part is production. So now we've made all of our decisions, we've established all of our subdivisions and rule sets, and we've gone and we've cut them, and we just need to assemble to put it together. So at this point, it might actually be smart for you to turn the reference and modifier layers off, because now we're going to very rapidly just grab these strips and start folding them using Rotate 3D. So the first one, I'm just going to take this top one over here and kind of pull it off to the side. I'm going to turn my top view off and look at perspective a little bit here so that I can view how I'm working on it. And I'm also going to look at it from the front view so I can verify sort of what the profile, the front and right view actually, so I can verify what that profile is truly turning out to look like. So I'll select it and I can say rotate 3D, start of axis from there to there. I'll go into my front view and start pulling it up. So that first level I'll put like that. I'll select the remainder, those. Rotate 3D, go from that point to that point where I'm going to fold it across, back into the front view. And if I want it to go flat, hold shift, and it'll go back to a flat fold. Okay, the next one I only have 2 left. Rotate 3D. Notice how I'm anchoring Rotate 3D in the perspective view. And that's because while now it's pretty easy, I technically could just start it with a rotate at this point, but when I have skewed lines, it's not going to be that easy. You'll see. So I'll go from here to here, go to the front view, and I'll turn it up. And this one, I'll turn back that way. And then I'll do the same thing one more time from there to there and here and down. So I've just assembled the first type. So I grab it and I'm going to move it out of the way. Whoops, I missed one.
You say hold and shift?
What?
For being like
yeah, if you want it to be flat, hold shift.
Mine without holding shift is flat. It's going to be auto is on. Yes, auto is on.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So then you move the second one out and you just kind of have at it. You start rotating it. So I'll rotate, select the ones I want to rotate, those ones right there, go from here to there. Oops, sorry, I did it in the wrong view. Rotate 3D. All right. This, enter, there to there. And remember, Rotate 3D is going to give you referential folds, right? So it's going to extend a smart track back to the point that you select. So I select that point, and I begin to rotate like this. Okay, this is where it gets kind of weird. It's not necessarily going to be so easy to flatten all of the rest of them out. So Rotate 3D, there to there, and see, here's where it's kind of important, right? So I'm looking at it in perspective view. It's got this skewed smart track going back. And you click, and then you got to bring it back down into another view, but it's not, it doesn't look flat, right? You would think that if you hold shift, it's not going to flatten out, but it does. Visually, it's not proportionate to the rotate in that view. Does that make sense? I don't think that was the best description, but visually I think you can see it. So you hold shift and it flattens. And you can do it again with this. Rotate 3D. There to there. And here. We'll go up like that. Okay. And there's another one. Move it out of the way. Pull it up. Slide it over. You guys get the picture now, right? So we just very quickly, you know, when you guys do this sort of rapid fire from start to finish, you'll get all these different prototypes built in like, 5 minutes a piece. When you start doing, systems of variables, iterations of those as sets and, different types of the same family, essentially. So then you can just kind of rapid fire and you'll find the one that's going to most appropriately solve the problem at hand, right? And that's all design really is just solving problems. So what I'd like you to do, I'm going to release here for a break and work time. So I'm going to give you guys I'll give you guys a 10-minute break and 40 minutes to get through. I probably will cut it short, but I'll give you guys a maximum of 40 minutes to get all these done. And then we're going to actually go into, well, now, this looks like the stuff we were doing before. How do I modify it into something else and make it my own? What questions do you have? Okay. So 10-minute break if you need it, and then we're going to get working on this, and I'll answer any personal, single one-on-one questions you guys have with your projects.